We are here at, I think it's called Zorbaz. We were in Fergus Falls. When we got here, I told Isa, hey, this looks like the Philippines. I get a little nervous out there on the water. I don't think I want to venture too far out there. Zorbaz, Z-O-R-B-A-Z on the lake. Established 1969. I suppose I'll get somewhat of a copyright violation here with the music and background. We are in Minnesota. We are just moseying around here on a kind of a crisp, cool Saturday afternoon. I don't like it's shaking out here, but I'm not a fan of heights, so I'm not crazy about water, and I'm getting a little nervous here. So, I'm really getting nervous, and I'm not going to stay here very long. Oh my, there's Isa, a couple of new friends, both Filipinas. I guess there's quite a few Filipinas in around Breckenridge, Minnesota. That's where we are staying. We're just driving around now. They're the GPS, so they're just going to take us to a few places around here. We can order food in there, which is, I don't know if we'll do that or not, or if we'll just keep moving. One of, 11,000 lakes in Minnesota. By the way, we talked to a gentleman after we went to that hospital. It was the largest mental health hospital. He said back in the 1890s, when it was built, I mean, men could take their wives if they had postpartum depression and they didn't know what to do with them. They could take them to that mental hospital and leave them there for a while. It's just crazy stories. I mean, they did lobotomies over there. They had a section there for people with contagious diseases would go. And it was just a huge, massive facility if you've seen that video, if I've shown it. And he seemed to know a little bit about it. And it's condemned. It smells so bad in there now. They can't even have any tours. They used to, but I think 12, 13 years ago, he said they stopped doing tours at that hospital. It's massive, and all of those buildings have underground tunnels except for one. And they had some pretty dangerous people there. And it was like a city, that area, back in the heyday. I'm sure you can hear the sound of the water. Always one of my favorite sounds. We are here on a vacation, 2020. We've actually done a lot this year. We were in the Philippines in January. We just got back from Colorado and South Dakota. We have been here in Minnesota. We're right next to North Dakota because we drive through South Dakota to get here. Doing some sightseeing before we leave the country for good someday and live in the Philippines. That's the plan. Lord willing, who really knows what can happen over time, but that's just kind of like what we're thinking. Good to see Isa meet some friends. There's Filipinas all over this country, and they really like the smaller towns. Isa does, and so do her friends. So these 4,000 or 5,000 communities, they really like it. They like the wide open space. It's really, really beautiful. And there are places like this in the Philippines too that aren't a lot of people around, but I don't know. Everything comes with a little bit of a price and some ups and downs, but we're just enjoying one day at a time here in Minnesota.